Boom. Kathleen Cross, Kathy Murphy, Misha Oliver, Fox Hill Dreams, Meek Spees, Tina G, Lucy L, The Trump Report, Bernadette, Veronica Tello, Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio, Watcher Soko, Patricia Haverkamp, That Damn Alaskan, and me, BDD in the Heezy. Debbie Neiman, Valerie G, Xander Zork, Sandra from Paramount, California, Shell Teresa, Joanne Locke, Cecile Kazimi, let's see, where was I? Cecile Kazimi, Grab Life by the Cherries, Cindy C, Meeks, oh, I got you already, Meeks Beast, Tanya Karen G, Meredith Powell, Lee Saunders, Stella Baxter, Michelle Bookout, Misha Oliver, Samantha Hawkins, Mytal Cabelli. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka BrooklynDad, and this is Storytime. Bling, bling. Welcome everyone. Happy Monday. In the meantime, as I was doing that little logo intro, Sylvia Correa has joined us, as has Wojo Mom. What's up, Wojo Mom? Melissa McQueen says it's blueberry muffin time. That's a good time of the day. Meredith Powell is here. Carol Schneider. Karen Purdy says no sound here. Can you guys hear me? Oh, no, she just got it back. Okay, good. Good. So now that we have sound, we can jump right on into our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Oh, damn! That's not right! That's an old picture! Of course it is. Okay, hang on a second. Hey, if it's story time with BDD, that means you are getting live action, and that means sometimes we don't have everything where it's supposed to be, but not to worry. The first one is, here we go. The question is, America, do we have too much freedom? We shall discuss. Meanwhile, Senators Cory Booker, Jason Crow, and Elizabeth Warren are dealing with a new challenge. It's COVID. We'll discuss as well. And our guessing game for today is Name That Vintage Christmas Toy. And last but not least, for you Raggedy Bish, we have Senator Joe Manchin. There we go. I knew as I was setting up the slides, the pictures for today's show, I was like, make sure you don't forget the stories of the day pictures. And what did I do? I forgot. But not to worry. Not to worry. You know, it's all good. Like this coffee. Fun fact, the coffee I'm drinking now, it's actually one of those Keurig cup things. I'm not a coffee snob. Coffee. The New Yorker in me says coffee. I'm not a coffee snob. Um, but people have said over the years that Keurig is not, it's not real coffee. It's not good coffee. Hey, this is all right. Actually, this is Cinnabon flavored coffee. Keurig. It's fine with me. Hey, Philosophy is back. Welcome, Philosophy. I see Jennifer Rayner is here, as is, Cha Cha has joined us. Lisa Hathaway, there she goes. Mia to you has joined us as well. Welcome, you guys. Let's see who else has slipped into the room. Paula Freitas, there she is. La 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 la. Before we get on, hey, there's Marty. Marty is here too. The gang's all here. Coffee is Samantha Hawkins' jam. Coffee. Philosophy says, I hope you put equal in that black coffee. No sugar substitute, no equal, just straight up black Java. That's it. And no Chrissy M, welcome. This is not black. This is not decaf. I can't deal with that decaf. I need the caffeine. Shell Teresa says she loves gingerbread coffee. Coffee. All right. So since we're on the topic of coffee, let's go ahead and jump on into our random topics, because that's going to pop up in the random topics too. Nixie M says, hello, little green fairy from Twitter. Nixie M, welcome to you. All right. So where were we here? Random stuff. Okay. So this is basically, we are now at the end. We are at the 11th hour of... Hey, Jen and Fat Tony are here. Welcome, Jen and Fat Tony. We're at the 11th hour of fantasy football season. This is make or break. I am currently trailing my opponent 65 to 91. I don't know why I put an X there, but whatever. I'm trailing. I have two people left to play. One is Mr. Dalvin Cook. I need him to go off for like 2 touchdowns tonight, at least, and maybe 150, 180 combined yards rushing and receiving. And I also have Hunter Renfrow, surprise stud wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. I hope he goes off a ton. He's playing right now as we speak. He's playing against Cleveland. So I don't care if Cleveland wins. I just want Hunter Renfrow to rack up a ton of yardage and maybe a touchdown or two. Nixie M says she moved from Minnesota to Scotland. All right. Hey, Ness from Connecticut is here too. Welcome, Ness from Connecticut. And let's see. Her butt smells. Matt Meehan. Her butt smells. Welcome, Matt. Always good for a crazy name here. Casey Kresnak is joining us from Wisconsin. D. Holly says, big up. What up, D. Holly? Marie from New Jersey is here. Okay, welcome, you guys. Let me continue with the show. Wifey, meanwhile, also has life. She is winning her matchup currently, 96 to 66. She has one person, only one left to play. I think it's the Philadelphia defense up against Washington, the Washington football team. And her opponent, meanwhile, has their quarterback, Russell Wilson, is playing tonight. The kicker for the Rams is playing tomorrow. A couple of other people. So hopefully Hopefully she pulls out a win as well. Let's see. I'm seeing a few people saying, did BDD freeze? Am I buffering? You guys, am I buffering? Let's see. No buffering here. Misha says, Meek Speed says, buffering dad defiant. Okay, let's keep it going. Saturday, wifey and I made a little trip to the village, to Bleecker Street, where we went to Puerto Rico Importing Co. Puerto Rico Importing Co. is, they sell coffee there. They sell coffee by the bean, by the bags of beans. This was my first time going to this place, despite the fact that it's half a block away from my old, like, teen year stomping grounds. Like, I used to drink coffee half a block up at Cafe Figaro Cafe, whatever, Bleecker and McDougal. So we went there with the purpose of getting a few different samples of coffee. So I ended up getting strudel cake flavor. It was okay. Actually, the strudel cake flavor, not as good as the Keurig Cinnabon flavor, being honest. Vienna, Costa Rica, which I tried today, which was pretty good. And the third flavor I got, these are all like half-pound quantities I got. The third one I got was Guatemalan flavor. So I'm looking forward to Guatemalan. I saw a lot of people on my coffee tweet saying, try Guatemalan coffee. So I'm going to try that one tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. Jennifer Tony wants to know, aren't I on a coffee kick now? I was kicking coffee when I first started my quitting the smoking. December 17th made 4 months cigarette free. So, you know, I'm not saying I'm free and clear of the cigarette urge, but, you know, I can't let that hold me hostage from doing the things I like drinking coffee. Meanwhile, COVID-19 continues to hold many of us hostage from doing some of the things that we like, and others hostage from doing the things that we like to watch. For instance, this Saturday night was to be the season finale of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Paul Rudd. This was his 5th time hosting, so he did get his 5-timer jacket presented by none other than Mr. Tom Hanks. The difference is this one was a performance with no audience because COVID. Yeah, I mean, you would have thought it was 2020, you know? You'd have thought it was the year 2020 because they locked that shit down. No members of the audience. In fact, most of the cast and crew were not even there. I mean, I guess the crew was there. Cast, it was just Kenan Thompson and Michael Che. That was it. Nobody else. It was an okay episode. It felt weird. It was jarring that there was no laughter in the background. Not that I need that. I love plenty of comedy that has no laugh track, but it was just weird. It was a constant reminder that shit, nobody's there because pandemic still going on, because assholes won't mask up, won't vax up, etc., etc. This one skit with A.D. Bryant and Kate McKinnon was particularly hilarious. It was for Home Goods, but they were focused on grandkids, and that was a funny one. Check it out if you get a chance. I think it's on Peacock or on YouTube. Check out. So, wifey and I did not go to the theater to see Spidey. So, what I did do was acquire a bootleg Spider-Man copy. Yeah, so he didn't look like this version from the 1970s with a piece of white rope coming out of his wrist. No, but it wasn't great video, great audio. It was good enough. I just couldn't help it. Man, I'm telling you, it's every week back in the day before the pandemic, I was at the theaters. A movie like Spidey, I'm there the opening weekend. I'm there normally. I couldn't because of COVID, and I didn't want to because of COVID. Let me put it that way. I'm not ready to put myself and the health of my family at risk just because I want to see a movie. Excuse me. So with that said, there's so many different trends on Twitter involving Spidey that I've been avoiding. Like, I can't look at this trend because they have a whole lot of spoilers. So I'm not going to spoil anything for you. It was a very good movie. It was very good. And when it is safe for us to do so, we will lock down a theater. We will reserve an AMC theater and we'll go and check it out, Not the bootleg version, but the full screen, full audio, high resolution version of this movie. And I'm, like I said, I saw the whole thing from beginning to end. Very good movie. Wifey and I also checked out a show that's on Apple TV, and it's called Station 11. So, you guys know when you watch TV, you watch it because you want to escape kind of from the reality that you're in. This movie is about a pandemic. I don't know what it is about pandemic, about disaster, post-apocalyptic shows that I love so much. But yeah, Kathleen Cross, yes, we rent out the whole theater. It's a thing called AMC Reserve. Now, ideally, you want to get 2 or 3 of your friends to split up the cost. That's what we did when we went to see the Eternals. So the cost of renting this one movie, this one movie room was $150, and we split 3 ways. That's only $50 a pop. So that was good value. So anyway, yeah, this show Station 11 is basically what we're living right now, except the difference is they didn't have really any time to react at all. Not like we have had a year and a half of reacting, to the pandemic. These folks, no chance whatsoever. It was something called the Georgia flu, basically decimated 99.9% of the world's population. So all this lively debate about, should I wear a mask? Should we mandate wearing masks? Should we mandate a vaccine? There was no time for that. They were just wiped out. And I hate to say, we are ill-prepared for a pandemic like that, for something that just wiped everybody out. We are not prepared for that shit. But this is starring 2 individuals, this little girl named Kirsten and this young man named Jeevan, right? He figures out, because his wife works his sister works in the hospital. She tells him, hunker down, block off your door, get some groceries, don't make contact with anybody. He took care of this little girl here, and that's how the show starts off. I will say it is an interesting study of, human interactions, of our tendencies, our will to survive, our instincts, all that stuff. It's pretty good. Pretty good. That's all I'm going to say about that. Good show. It's not a movie, it's a show. There's 3 episodes available to stream on Apple so far. Curb Your Enthusiasm, is freaking hilarious. In its 11th season, it's hard to believe that something that's gone on for 11 seasons still funny. You can still wring the humor out of that show. You still can. Case in point, this episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm features Bill Hader, phenomenal comedian, as not one, not two, but three different splendid characters. Also featured in this episode was the topic of vaginal reconstruction surgery. I can't make this shit up. It was pretty funny. Check it out. That's on HBO Max. This is very, very funny shit. I think next week is the final episode of season 11 already. Okay, that's it for our random stuff. It's now time, ladies and gentlemen, for our quick hits. Yeah, some of my B. Let's see. Somebody asked, Jennifer Reyna asked, how many times has BDD hit on the number 11 so far? Oh, that's a fun trivia question. I could not answer that. What does it mean? Have I said the number 11 multiple times in this show so far? Oh, shit, you're right. You're right. Station 11, season 11. Good question. I was not paying attention to that. Okay, next up, quick hits. Today was the the final day of the Kim Potter trial. Kim Potter was the officer who killed Dante Wright for shooting him with an actual gun instead of a taser. She claimed she was going for her taser. Everybody knows there's a huge difference between a taser and an actual gun. She should also know. So the closing arguments were given by the prosecution and the defense. It is now in the hands of the jury. I'm fairly certain, I'm going to say with 95% jaded certainty, jaded and cynical certainty, she will go free. Saying it, I'm not happy about it. I am calling it. She will be acquitted because, this is not one of those things like Derek Chauvin. You had an airtight case against him. This one, open to interpretation. She did cry, albeit it was a poor performance, but, she did unleash those tears. We'll see, but I'm not optimistic about the outcome of this one. A certain well-known criminal today filed a lawsuit against a certain law enforcement official. Donald Trump is suing New York Attorney General Letitia James to prevent her from investigating his businesses because, of course, that's what criminals do. Yeah, right? Like, isn't that what John Gotti did? Didn't he sue the Attorney General? Who was that? Was that Rudy Giuliani, maybe? Did he sue Rudy Giuliani to say, hey, you're violating my rights by investigating my crimes? How dare you? This is the audacity. If Trump hasn't done anything else, he has highlighted the failure of our justice system to hold people who are rich and powerful to account. It's the rich and powerful get away with murder in many cases, even though, even though quite a few people with money and power have been held accountable. It doesn't happen often enough. Senators Cory Booker, Jason Crow and Elizabeth Warren, all three of them tested positive for COVID-19. I believe it was the Omicron variant, which is spreading like wildfire right now. So if you have it in you, if you can spare a prayer for them, if you can throw up some positive vibes into the universe, if you're not, if you're if you're not religious or whatever, we need every last one of these senators we have fighting for us. We need them alive and well. So prayers up. The Dow Jones took a hit today. At one point, they were down 620 points. Last time I checked a few hours ago, they were down 550 points approximately. Mainly dealing with the news about Omicron. I mean, this has really gotten a lot of people nervous, but not just Omicron. The Omicron, it's spreading like wildfire, and it's got the markets spooked. But also, as far as Omicron is concerned, President Biden will be making a speech tomorrow to address the White House plans. Oh, Philosophy says it ended down 433. So that's still a significant amount. Again, the Wall Street is not the economy. The stock market is not our economy, but it's significant indicator. Anyway, he's going to speak to the nation about what the White House plans to do to deal with this latest variant of COVID-19. Nobody really knows if they're going to discuss mandates, expansion of mandates, enforcing of mandates. Nobody knows. But clearly he wants to settle the markets down and settle the nerves of Americans as well. There was a statement that was released by the White House that has gotten some people in a tizzy because people have basically cropped this statement and used it out of context to say, look at what the White House is saying. Here's the statement that taken out of context. It says, we are intent on not letting Omicron disrupt work and school for the vaccinated. You've done the right thing, and we will get through this. For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death for yourselves, your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm. So take it out of context like that. It looks like the White House is giving them the finger and saying, screw you guys, we got ours, you're gonna die. That's what it looks like the White House is saying. You take that out of context, but there's more context to it. Yeah. So it says, so it goes on to say after that, our message to every American is clear. There is action you can take to protect yourself and your family. Wear a mask in public indoor settings. Get vaccinated. Get your kids vaccinated and get a booster shot when you're eligible. We are prepared to confront this new challenge. We have plenty of vaccines and booster shots available. So then after that, it's an all-inclusive, we're in this together kind of thing. But people cropped it, of course, to make it look ominous. And, that's what they do. They always do that shit. Speaking of ominous, goddamn this son of a bitch, Joe Manchin, a.k.a. Senator Yachty Maserati, went on Fox News yesterday to declare, that's it. I don't want no part of this BBB, Build Back Better thing. I'm a no. And we're going to get into his reversal more later on in the show during our You Raggedy BISH segment. But goddamn this guy, man. I am so sick and tired of this dude that most of us didn't vote for. We didn't, it was just a little tiny West Virginia. I'm not, discounting the importance of West Virginia. Obviously, they're one of our 50, excuse me, they're one of our 50 states. But why should this one guy penalize all of us? It's annoying as hell. All right, that's it for quick goddamn hits. He's owned, paid, and bought, owned by big pharma, big coal, big oil, all that shit. He's owned. He needs to leave. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I could go for a timeline cleanse right about now. Timeline cleanse. Bought and paid for, Misha Oliver. Thank you for that. That's what I was looking for. I don't know what I said, but it was not that. Yeah, Lisa Hathaway. He basically shouted from his yacht, "Screw you guys, I got mine." Screw you guys, I'm going home. Let's see. Okay, number one. This first clip is a shout out. Clearly, it's a shout out to the bootleg I just saw, bootleg version of Spidey I just saw. In this instance, this guy's Spidey sense is clearly not tingling. Bootleg Spidey busted that cup. Did not see that coming. Why is he breaking that cup, though? But he had that coming. It was probably her favorite mug, and he just broke the handle, but the eye falling off. No, Meeks Bees, I have not seen the Bollywood Spidey, but that shit is funny. All right, next up, let's see. I have another one. You guys know I love those cute animals. That's basically the cute animals are the essence of the timeline cleanse. I don't know what this is. This one is, but this one was featured with the somebody tweeted this and said this guy is trying to figure out Joe Manchin. He's adorable. What is this creature, though? It's not a lemur, right? What is it? It's not a spider monkey. I know it's got little fingers. It's cute. He's trying to figure out this strawberry. Look at his little head upside down. What is it? Like, I would love to have one of these things, but also the little fingers that kind of put me off. I couldn't. Let's see. My Talca Belly says wombat. Corey Lord says chinchilla. Philosophy says, oh, that's mine. Asmila J says bush baby. Foxhill Dream says sugar glider. Meek Speed says lemur. All right, so everybody is in. Philosophy says lemur. Samantha says bush baby. He's cute as hell. Oh, Phil says he tweeted that. Interesting. Good job. Good for you, Phil. All right. A whole lot of people saying lemur. I don't know. All right. Those little fingers, they freak me out. I just... All right. This next one here. This is, again, one of those thrill seekers, right? So it would be enough for me just to go up in a blimp, right? Just to go up in a blimp. That's a pretty big thrill right there. It's a blimp. It's a craft that's, up in the air, but it's full of gas, right? That would be enough. But this thrill seeker wanted to walk on top of the blimp. So right there, that's enough of a thrill. But not for this person. This person needed to go that extra step. There he is. You know he's about to do something stupid, right? There he is. Now where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? Off the edge of the blimp, jumping off the blimp. That's that's a big no for me. But I like watching other people do it, though. Watching other people do it, you can live vicariously through their insane actions. That is kind of cool. Cannot lie. Cannot lie. It's cool, but it's also terrifying. I think I might have found this on the account of Hold My Beer. Hey, Sherry Scary is here too. What's up, Sherry Scary? I see ya. All right, and that's it for our timeline cleanse. Nixie is saying, please, me people know that Omicron is 5 times more infectious than Delta. Actually, last time I heard, it's like 10 times more infectious. So yeah, it is crazy infectious. Jamie from Wisconsin is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Miami girl Tangi. Hey, what up? I haven't seen you in a minute. Miami girl Tangi is here too. All right, let's jump right on into our main topic of the day. America, too much freedom? ? I am posing the question. That might sound like a crazy question, right? Because if America isn't known for anything else, we are known for our freedom, right? We have this whole thing called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and, all these things that basically guarantee our freedom to practice religion and, to throw the middle finger up to a president, should we choose, like this picture here. Freedom to burn the flag if that's what, floats your boat. Excuse me. Also, the freedom for our society's most reprehensible, hateful people to gather and profess their hatred for other members of our society. That is a freedom that is protected. If you can believe that. Yeah, it's protected. Yeah, so land of the free, right? This is this is America. They may take away our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. That's, I'm not even attempting to do the Braveheart accent, but you get the idea. Independence Day, President Whitmore said, today you will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. Huh? Freedom from annihilation. I will return to this point later on. Freedom from annihilation. Okay? Last night, fun fact, Wifey and I, Wifey has never seen the 10 Commandments prior to this weekend. Yeah. And I don't even remember what it was. We were walking our dog, and I was talking about, I don't even remember what brought up the 10 Commandments movie, but we were walking Rain, and she tells me that she's never seen the 10 Commandments. So, of course, I'm like, we're going to watch that. So I turned it on, and it's those of you who have seen the 10 Commandments, it's a really long movie. And we got to this part here when Moses is making his return down Mount Sinai after having gotten the 10 Commandments from God. And this jackass, I think his name is Dathan. His name is Dathan. I hate this character because every step of the way he is second guessing Moses. Hey, Miami girl Tangi, thank you for the kind donation. Thank you very much. So he's talking back to Moses. He's like, "We will not live by your commandments. We're free." This is what Dathan tells Moses. Moses, who, by the way, literally just saved their asses like a bazillion times. He got them free, right? By just having God drop all matter of, of all these different pandemic curses on Egypt just to get Pharaoh to say, all right, get your asses out of here, right? So he got them free. Then, as they're making their escape, he puts up a pillar of fire to block their escape, right? To make sure the soldiers can't kill them. Then he parts the goddamn sea. The ocean, the water opens up. You've never seen anything this fantastical in your life. And this jackass is still like, man, we don't believe you. You know, we're not rolling with you. Still second guessing him. And then Moses, his reply to his saying, we're free, he says, there is no freedom without the law. Moses, way back in, I don't know what the hell, BC, said there is no freedom without the law. Now, all these so-called Christians, Christian conservatives, they love to quote the Bible, but they conveniently sidestep these things that kind of disprove their narrative. There is no freedom without the law. No, instead, they like these man-made, patriotic little jingles. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Sandra, thank you for reminding me. I was searching for the word plagues earlier. I could not remember that word. Philosophy, thank you, my friend, for the generous donation. Thank you for that. So here in America, yeah, you have all these freedoms to act a fool if that is your choice. However, you also have the freedom to accept the consequences of your bullshit, okay? So, for instance, yelling fire in a crowded theater is forbidden by law. It's a funny thing. Wifey pointed out this weekend, she was like, there's unlawful, there's the word unlawful, and there's the word illegal. Those two words are supposedly the same, right? But for some reason, the word unlawful feels like it's more like a suggestion, like, we'd prefer if you didn't do that, versus illegal, like, yo, your ass will be locked up if you do that shit. It's weird. Anyway, I digress. Yelling for fire is forbidden by law. Thank you for your compliance. Yeah. Also, inciting insurrection, saying things, using your freedom of speech to do things that incite unlawful behavior is also illegal. So, yeah, you have freedom of speech that is guaranteed, but your freedom of speech cannot impinge upon other people's freedom of life and liberty in the pursuit of happiness. Gun violence. Gun violence is a pandemic. It's an epidemic, a pandemic, whatever. It is a public health crisis. Yeah. In 2021, we've had 272 mass shootings and just 30, just in the month of June, 30, a whopping 30 That's like one mass shooting per day. It is an epidemic, whatever. So the Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, a well-regulated militia, that's key right there. People who are pro-Second Amendment, they forget that whole thing about well-regulated. Well-regulated. Regulated. Regulated doesn't mean you get that shit, from some dude, out of his woodshed, in secret, that has the numbers shaved off. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you can own like weapons of war, weapons that can mow down dozens or hundreds of unarmed civilians, innocent unarmed civilians, within a minute or two. It doesn't say you have the right to own that shit. It doesn't say you have the right to own enough weapons to mow down, a small town just because that's your fetish. Back in 1996, Australia had this thing called the National Firearms Agreement. Australia. You know what they did? They banned several types of firearms. Not all guns. Several types of guns banned. And that resulted in the government buying. So it's not like they were knocking on doors, bashing doors down and just taking your guns. No, like they were like, we'll give you money for these kinds of guns. People were just voluntarily like, yeah, how much for this one, mate? It was getting their money from the government for turning these things in. And it resulted in the confiscation of 650,000 guns. But more importantly, it was an immediate drop in suicides, in mass shootings, etc., etc. The voluntary handing over of guns that were banned. Do you need an AK-47 to shoot a deer, an unarmed deer? Do you need that? Do you need it? I don't think so. Nick CM, thank you, my friend, for the donation. Trump Reaper asks, what civilian needs an AR-15? That's a great suggestion. That's a great question. I'd like to know. So yeah, they should start dealing with gun violence as a public health crisis, because that's what it is. We are the only nation right now, so-called civilized nation, that has this problem. And, the greatest minds on earth can't figure out what to do to stop it. It's just like, well, we're just going to teach your kids how to hide when this shit goes down. And if you're lucky, they survive. That's it. That's crazy. We can put people on the moon. We can send aircraft. We can send spacecraft to Mars. But we can't figure this shit out. How insane is that? So yeah, let's make it a public health crisis to deal with this. But, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, clearly says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if your Second Amendment is preventing me from enjoying life, liberty, preventing me from living, then your Second Amendment needs to be revised. That shit needs to be changed. right? But here's the problem with treating gun violence as a public health crisis. We are currently already dealing with a public health crisis known as COVID-19. It's an actual public health crisis. It's not an interpretation of it. It is what it is. It's a worldwide pandemic that, just won't leave because millions of people are exerting their rights to freedom to infect other people, to tie up crucial hospital services because they refuse to wear a mask and get vaccinated. And they're calling it, if you insist on people wearing a mask, they're calling that shit tyranny. Huh? Same thing with vaccinations. They say if you mandate vaccinations, that's tyranny. That's fascism. But what was it that the President Whitmore was saying in Independence Day? He said, "Today you will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation." What the hell happens if we don't solve this pandemic? Serious question. Look, I spent this weekend watching a show called Station 11, where a pandemic wiped out 99.9% of the population because they were not prepared to deal with the needs for a rapid response. Okay, mask up, vax. Or they weren't prepared for that shit. It hit them, and then everybody died. We're slow motion going through this shit. We're lucky. We're lucky that the death rate is so low. The rate of fatalities of this is relatively low. But what's interesting is Trump was on this tour with Bill O'Reilly, and there's a video that came out that shows him and Bill O'Reilly saying that they were both vaccinated and boosted, and the audience booed. Even Trump got booed. Eddie G, thank you, my friend, for the donation. Check this out.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. That's all right. There's a very tiny group over there.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. That's all right. There's a very tiny group over there.
Both the president and I...
Can I just tell you how shocked I was to see Trump being responsible there? Oh! Eddie G, you have summoned the sticky taco with your generous, kind donation. Thank you again, Eddie G, for that. I am stunned watching Trump say, "Yep, I'm vaccinated. Yes, I got the booster too." Gotta give him his props. I can't stand the man. Cannot stand him. But he is now trying. Yeah, partially his fault for letting his followers get all riled up against it. Now it's a Frankenstein monster that he himself cannot control. The anti-vaxxers, because Trump supporters, as it says in this caption here, are now anti-vaccine activists. Even Saturday Night Live. We couldn't have a regular season finale of Saturday Night Live because the Omicron variant, out of an abundance of caution, there will be no live audience for tonight's taping, and the show will have limited cast and crew. Airlines and other employers have tried to do a vaccine mandate for their employees, right? Which that has helped to boost vaccinations, but there are still people who are resistant of getting the vaccine. So again, they are preventing us from having a large percentage of the population vaccinated. What happens if this shit just keeps on going and the Omicron or whatever, the COVID-19 keeps evolving, it keeps mutating? Is this going to be the end of us? We're just going to, or are we going to be able to live with it at a level where, my COVID is acting up today. I'm going to take a little spray in my mouth and I'm good. I don't know. But, the people in our government are clearly concernicus about this. And, if the experts, the epidemiologists, if they're concerned about it, maybe we should be too, right? Even restaurants and places of business, they're putting up signs saying, for the safety of our staff, guests, and community, no vax, no service. What's the difference between saying no vax, no service, no shoes? You can't go into a place of business without shoes or without a shirt, right? No shoes, no shirt, no service. You've seen that sign. Of course you have. No seatbelts. You can't drive without wearing a seatbelt. There's rules you have to follow in this society. Does that mean you're less free because you got a vaccine to protect yourself and your family and your neighbors? The other day, people are getting arrested at Cheesecake Factory because they're pulling some stupid stunt, like a sit-in at Cheesecake Factory. They asked them nicely to leave, and they're like, "No, we're not vaccinated. We want to eat here anyway." That's not how it works, bro. Your freedoms do not supersede the rights of a private business to have rules and regulations that need to be followed for the protection of their customers. So again, the question is, do we have too much freedom? Why am I concerned about this? Because the whole thing between freedom versus safety, that's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. Do you give up how much of your freedom do you give up for safety? And at what point does the giving up of freedom for safety, the exchange, at what point does that become fascism? At what point do you say, my safety is more important than my freedom? Because maybe we're looking at that right now. Jen and Fat Tony, thank you, my friends, for the donation. I'm not saying that the anti-vaxxers are right, but I keep listening, right? I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Look, I'm fully vaxxed. I'm boosted. I wear a mask. I hate wearing a mask, but I wear it whenever I go somewhere that's indoors. Costco, ShopRite, wherever it is, that coffee shop I went to. We don't go to the movies. We stay away from restaurants. We get takeout and go home and eat where I don't have to worry about, inhaling someone else's droplets. I'm sick and tired of this pandemic. But I'm also concerned, right, that as we're saying, let's mandate vaccines for anybody who goes, who wants to fly somewhere. And on one level, it makes perfect sense. But on another level, what happens if this just starts a precedent, right? For the next, Jen Murphy has summoned the sticky taco. Thank you, Jen Murphy, for that donation. Yeah, what happens, if the next pandemic, you have to give up more freedoms? What happens if these other guys are right? Sylvia Correa says, fascism is not this. Yeah. on one hand, I am playing devil what with this what if question. But seriously want to think about how much of our freedom do we give up for in exchange for safety? Let's go back to in the aftermath of 9/11. What did they do? They had that Patriot Act, which said the government can spy on us no matter what without just cause, just in the sake of national security. And a lot of people on the left rightfully raised up and said, wait, whoa, what are you doing? Right? So I'm just saying that we need to keep an eye on the way this shit is going down. I would appreciate, and I'm in favor, for the record, I'm in favor of a vaccine mandate. Me personally, I feel like we've cajoled these folks long enough. We've asked nicely long enough. I'm freaking sick and tired of the mask and this pandemic because people, my freedoms. Fuck that. Come on. Let's end this shit already. I'm tired. I want to get back to life as normal. I want to get back to going to the movies without wearing a mask and without worrying that I'm going to inhale some toxic particles. So that's what I got to say about that. Do we have too much freedoms? Maybe. Or maybe what we need to do is revise our amendments. Maybe the First Amendment needs to be revised in a reasonable way. The Second Amendment needs to be revised. Maybe we need a new amendment to deal with pandemics, right? I don't know what amendment we're up to right now, but let's say, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to call it the 30th Amendment deals with, here's perfect. Meek Spees, Trump Reaper says, your freedom ends where my right not to die begins. And that's what the 30th Amendment, or whatever number we're up to, that's what that says. That one supersedes the first, second, and all those other amendments. It supersedes that because it enforces our right not to be exterminated. All right. And that's what I have to say about that. That's my thoughts about freedom and whether or not we have too much. I think with freedom, as with great power, comes responsibility. If you're not using your freedom responsibly, people who use their freedom irresponsibly, they use their freedom to walk down the street and slap somebody upside the head. What happens? Then you get your freedom revoked, right? Isn't that what happens? So, yeah. All right, let's see. It's time for, whoa, my goodness, Karen Purdy, oh my goodness, has given the whopping donation. I don't want to embarrass you or put you on the spot, but my goodness, thank you, Karen Purdy. I am, wow, that's a big one. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. I just want to wait a second and see if we get a sticky taco out of that. We need a sticky taco for that one. Damn it. Whoo! I'm not seeing it. It's got to come. Oh, it's just that little mouse. But still, thank you, Karen Purdy. That was very sweet of you. Thank you very much. All right, let's jump into my favorite part of the show. It is the guessing game. This one is Name That Vintage Christmas Toy. So, those of you, this is your first time playing, here's what it is. I'm going to show you a picture. It's like a real extreme close-up of a vintage toy. You got to guess what it is. Type it in, hit send. I'm going to read off about 10 names or so. Are you ready? Here we go. Here's the first one. Red background, white circle. What is it? And no, it is not Jethro Tull. Lee Saunders believes she'll be rubbish at this. I don't think so. I don't think you will. Let's see. Oh, Hamtaro. That's the. I can never remember the name of that mouse eating the noodles. It's Hamtaro. Let's see. Okay. I believe I have seen enough. Where's my stick? Here we go. Seen enough. All right. We were looking for Etch a Sketch. Etch a Sketch. And let's see. At the top, we have. Hang on. I had it. Meek Spees is at the top, followed by Nurse Mitch. Lee Saunders, who said she'd be rubbish. Ha! Let's see. Asmila J. Philosophy. Meredith Powell. Cecile Kazemi. Cha-cha. Mia Mia to you. Sherry Scary says draw thingy. Roger Soko. Monique Lee. Ness from Connecticut. The Trump Reaper. Shel Teresa. Samantha Hawkins. Veronica Tello. Lisa Hathaway. Kathleen Cross. Okay. Good job, you guys. I got to keep it moving because I am so far behind. Here's the next one. All I see is a switch and some colors here, black and orange. What can this possibly be? That was a good sketch, right? That was President Obama in the Etch-a-Sketch there. Eddie G says, you know how many Puerto Rican salsa Christmas songs have a cowbell? I do not. Let's see. Oh, okay. This was not as difficult as I thought. I've seen enough. All right, we have a lot of people here who actually did have the Atari. And I remember when this shit came out, I didn't have it. So I had to go over to my friend's house and play this shit. I was so envious. Okay, at the top, once again, is Meek Spees, followed by Meredith Powell. Monsoon Al Zulu says the government is watching you. Etch a Sketch. Speedtopia, Gavin Rutherford, Kathy Murphy, Watcher Soko, Mia Mia to you, Eddie G, Maital Cabelli, Misha Oliver, Asmila J, Patricia Pueyas, Kimberly Moss, Lisa Hathaway, Ness from Connecticut, Kathleen Cross, Samantha Hawkins, Sherry Scary, Sylvia Correa, Monsoon Al Zulu, Shel Teresa, Valerie G, Veronica Tello, Grab Life by the Cherries, Wilbur McCarthy, Michelle, Marie from New Jersey. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. Yes, Space Invaders. That was a good game to play on the Atari. Here's the next one. What is this? Cannot deal with cold coffee. No, I don't like. Some people love iced coffee. That's not my thing. Nope. I used to love this game, by the way. I played this a lot. Let's see. Okay. I believe I have seen enough. We're looking for Chinese checkers. And yeah, this was a good low-tech game. You had to jump over people's things in order to move. It's a good game. Let's see. We have Meredith Powell at the top, followed by Meek Spees. Michelle. I see Eddie G saying the game with the star on it, but I'm sorry. You got it right, but not really. Speedtopia, Deb B, Kathy Murphy, Mia to you, Cecile Kazemi, Jamie from Wisconsin, Misha Oliver, Smila J, half credit with some kind of checkers. Yeah. Samantha Hawkins, Maital Cabelli, Sherry Scary, Lisa Hathaway, Watcher Soko, Veronica Tello, Sylvia Correa gets partial credit. Chinese something. Bernadette, Patricia Puez. Very good, you guys. Very good. Okay, here's the next one. Ooh, this one. What could it be? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Na 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 rent na 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 dum dum. All right, I believe I've seen enough with the explosion of answers. We're looking for Operation. Don't touch the sides. Be very, very careful. Yes, we're looking for Operation. And at the top here, we've got Nurse Mitch, followed by Speedtopia, Janet Fatoni, Patricia Puella, Cindy C, Meredith Powell, Adrian Gladish, Meek Spees, Eddie G, Nixie M, Misha, nope. Sorry. Mia to you, Maitalka Belly, Ness from Connecticut, Asmila J, Watcher Soko, Cecile Kazemi, the Trump Reaper, Cha-Cha, Monique Lee, Gavin Rutherford, Samantha Hawkins, Shel Teresa, Tanya Cameron G, Lisa Hathaway, Sherry Scary Marie from New Jersey, Kathleen Cross, Michelle, Bernadette. Very good, you guys. Very good. Okay. If I've not called you out, it's because I got so many and I can't read every last person who's answering correctly. Here's the next one. Here it is on the screen now. What could this be? I don't even remember the song to Operation. The commercial jingle. I don't remember that. I'm usually pretty good at that. It takes a very steady hand. I did it. That's $200 for me. May I play? That was the script of that, excuse me, commercial. I think I've seen enough. I've seen it. All right. I'm giving credit for both Nintendo and Game Boy. If you said Nintendo Game Boy, you go 100% right. If you said Nintendo, you're right. If you said Game Boy, you're right. So, here we go. Let's see who's at the top here. Who's at the top here? Watcher Soko says she's firing her Wi-Fi. Okay. At the top, we have Cindy C, followed by Meredith Powell, Mia to you, the Trump Reaper, Lee Saunders, Jen and Fat Tony, Asmila J, Meek Spees, Gavin Rutherford, Maital Cabelli, Nurse Mitch, Misha Oliver, Sylvia Correa, Eddie G, Monique Lee, Lisa Hathaway, Meek Spees, Just Us, Mia to you, Adrian nope, sorry, Adrian, that's not a Genesis. Watcher Soko, Wojo Mom, Cha-Cha, Jamie from Wisconsin, Kathleen Cross, Tanya Karen G, Samantha Hawkins. Very good, you guys. Very good. Okay, what's next? Oh, this one I'm pretty much gonna stump a bunch of you guys. I know this already. This is not an easy one, but give it your best shot here. This is a tough one. I remember the smell of these. Holy cow. Well, what do you know? Okay, you proved me wrong once again. I've seen enough. Yeah. I was looking for cap gun strips. We'll just say cap gun. Yeah, Some people loved the smell. Some people hated the smell. It was sulfur. Yeah, I think I remember liking the smell of these. Yeah. Let's see who's at the top here. Meek Spees, followed by Cha Cha, Watcher Soko, Meredith Powell, Jen and Fat Tony, Cindy C, Misha Oliver, Cecile Kazemi, The Trump Reaper, Mia Mia to You, Monique Lee, Jamie from Wisconsin, Fox Hill Dreams, Asmila J, Shell Teresa, Tanya Karen G, Lisa Hathaway, Kathleen Cross, Veronica Tello, Wilbur McCarthy. All right, moving right along. Let's keep it going. Here's the next one. Go for it. Oh, so Nurse Mitch wanted to know, how do you play with that? You took those red strips with the little circles on them and you loaded them into a cap gun, right? And when you squeeze the trigger, the hammer would hit those little circle things, pow, and that would create a pop, a loud pop, and smoky odor. Yeah, the smoky odor that was part of it. Yeah. That's how you play with that. All right. And you guys are very, very quick. With this one, I have seen enough. All right. Let's see. We were looking for Kinex. Kinex, that building thing, kind of like Legos, but not really. But yeah, Legos Erector set. Everybody had one of these. And not everyone who played with these decided to be a contractor or a builder or even an architect, but whatever. Mia Mia to You is at the top, followed by Misha Oliver, Asmila J, Adrian Gladish, Meek Spees, Jamie from Wisconsin, Michelle, Maital Cabelli, Marie from New Jersey, Just Us, Watch Lucy L, Lisa Hathaway, Monsuno Zulu. Meek Speed says, I still have tons of these. Wow. Wojo Mom, Ness from Connecticut, Jen and Fat Tony, Eddie G, Cindy C, Nurse, Nurse Mitch. Yeah, Bernadette. Let's see, Samantha Hawkins. Good job, you guys. Good job. All right, here's the next one. We got a few more to go. This one. What is this one? Legos hurts the fetos. Yes. Ah, this one is tough. Doom doom. I have seen enough, and if you guessed Big Wheel, congratulations. This was a fantastic toy. Yeah, you could go pretty fast for somebody with just on 3 wheels. Let's see. At the top here, we have Cindy C, followed by Nurse Mitch, Monique Lee, Samantha Hawkins, Trump Reaper, Speedtopia, Philosophy, Michelle, Sherry Scary, Trump Reaper, Tanya Karen G, Kathleen Cross, Lucy L, Marie from New Jersey, Shel Teresa, Mia Mia to You, Watcher Soko, Lisa, nope, Veronica Tello, Jen and Fat Tony, Monsuno Zulu, Wojo Mom, Eddie G, Green Machine. I remember the Green Machine that had the 2 levers. That was a cool one. Bernadette, Jamie from Wisconsin, Misha Oliver, Cecile Kazemi. Good job, you guys. Okay. We got 2 more. Here's the first one. What can this be? Eddie G says, although I did try to outrun vehicles on a Green Machine once, which my brother never lets me forget. Let's see. And Trump Reaper says, a pair of boobs. Okay, I think I've seen enough. We were looking for, excuse you, we were looking for Silly Putty. Silly Putty. And let's see who's at the top. We got Michelle, Shel Teresa, Jen and Fat Tony, Cecile Kazimi, Asmila J, Adrian Gladish, Samantha Hawkins, Jamie from Wisconsin, Mia to you, Misha Oliver, Watcher Soko, Trump Reaper Nurse, nope, Cindy C, Valerie G, Kathleen Cross, Veronica Tello, Tanya Karen G, Lisa Hathaway, Ness from Connecticut. Good job, you guys. Okay, here's the last one. Last one. Damn it. Have at it. Have at it. What is this toy? Philosophy says, wow, we are old. Yeah. For that Silly Putty. I don't even think Silly Putty is still sold. Is it? You know, the Silly Putty just eventually evolved into slime, which was gross. Slime. My kids used to love the slime shit. They loved it. I never saw the appeal, but whatever. Okay, I've seen enough. To infinity and beyond! We're looking for Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. And let's see. At the top, we have Meek Spees, followed by Michelle, Jen and Fat Tony, Cindy C, the Trump Reaper, Lee Saunders. I'm giving you that. She said, Toy Story the Astronaut. Yes, that is him. My Tal Cabelli, Mia to you, Samantha B, Misha Oliver, Asmila J, Samantha Hawkins, Eddie G, Watcher Soko, Meredith Powell, Monique Lee, Ness from Connecticut, Just Us, Lisa Hathaway, Jennifer Tony, Jamie from Wisconsin, Shel Teresa, Cecile Kazimi. Good job, you guys. Good job. Good job. I also want to give a shout out here, a special shout out to Lee Saunders, who plays this game with us, despite the fact that often some of these things that I'm calling out in these guessing games, they are like specific to America. Like if you didn't grow up watching our commercials, playing with our toys, they didn't all necessarily, exist in Europe or in England. So when she gets some of these right, that's pretty cool. It's a good thing. So shout out to you for being a good sport in our game. And shout out to everybody else for playing. And I hope I was able to call out your name. If not, hang in there. We have more shows. I will get you. I'm sure of it. Okay, last but not least, this show is on the longish side. We're going to jump right on into our You Raggedy BISH. And today's Raggedy Bish is none other than Senator Yachty, what the hell is his name? Yachty Maserati, Joe Manchin. And Ness from Connecticut, thank you, my friend, for the generous donation.
I've always said this, Brett. If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no on this legislation. I have tried everything I know to do. And the president has worked diligently. He's been wonderful to work with. He knows I've had concerns and the problems I've had. And I've always said this, Brett, if I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And
Okay. That's bullshit. That is such bullshit. You spent the better part of this entire year assuring people that you were working in good faith. Meanwhile, our progressives in the Democratic Party in the House were like, nah, we don't believe you. We want to tie this. We want to tie the vote for the bipartisan infrastructure deal to the Build Back Better plan because we don't believe you. And what did he do? He went and leveraged President Biden's good word. He used President Biden. He used progressives, and then he has the audacity. He had the audacity to go on, of all places, to announce this shit, to go on Fox News. That's adding insult to injury. This jackass, who is the senator of West Virginia, which is consistently at the bottom of all metrics of education, of healthcare, of salary, all these things, way, way down at the bottom. And he's tooling around in a Maserati and a yacht. This guy, why is he able to tool around in a Maserati and a yacht? Because, as I said earlier, he is bought and paid for. He is rich as Fahezi. After he dropped this news, Goldman Sachs cut its forecast for the U.S. economy from 3% to 2%, which you might not think is a big deal. It's a very big deal. The White House, of course, they came out shortly thereafter. And here's comments from Jen Psaki. Senator Manchin's comments this morning on Fox are at odds with his discussions this week with the president, with White House staff, and with his own public utterances. Weeks ago, Senator Manchin committed to the president at his home in Wilmington to support the Build Back Better framework. Senator Manchin pledged repeatedly to negotiate on finalizing that framework in good faith. Likewise, Senator Manchin's statement about the climate provisions in Build Back Better are wrong. Build Back Better will produce a job-creating, clean energy future for this country, including West Virginia. Just as Senator Manchin reversed his position on Build Back Better this morning, we will continue to press him to see if he will reverse his position yet again, to honor his prior commitments and to be true to his word. Now, what do you call it? Here's another one. Excuse me. In the meantime, Senator Manchin will have to explain to those families paying $1,000 a month for insulin why they need to keep paying that instead of $35 a month for that vital medicine. He will have to explain to the nearly 2 million women who would get the affordable daycare they need to return to work why he opposes a plan to get them the help they need. This is the kind of pressure that needs to be applied to him constantly. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. The other 50 Republicans who oppose this wholesale, they need to be held responsible too. The Mitt Romneys, the Susan Collins, the Lisa Murkowskis, the so-called moderates on the right. They need to be held to account as well, because they could just as easily step over and do that, that elusive bipartisan reaching across the aisle shit that people keep talking about. They could do that as well. Just saying. But Joe Manchin, he's supposed to be on our side. He's supposed to be our team. Oh, here we go. Don Winslow said, Lee Saunders says Don Winslow has done a new video, Joe Manchin, Rich and Shameless. I think I will be jumping on that after this show. So, in the meantime, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have. Joe Manchin is today's and every day's You Raggedy Bish. until further notice. I might not call him out specifically on this show, but he's, a de facto daily Raggedy Bish. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another fun episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka BrooklynDad. And if you have not yet gotten your shot or your booster, please go get one. Make sure you wear a mask wherever you go. Keep your social distance 6 feet or better. And have a lovely and relaxing evening. So who asked me about the darkness here? Oh, Trump Reaper wants to know, when does it get dark here? About 4:30 starts getting dark. 4:30, 4:45, it starts getting dark. So here's a special word to you guys. I will not be here. Oh, Veronica Tello, thank you, my friend. Thank you for the donation. I will not be here this Wednesday. Why? Because tomorrow I am undergoing oral surgery. And if it's anything like the last time I had a visit to the dentist, it is going to be extremely painful. I will be good and out of it tomorrow, and good chance Wednesday as well. So the next time I see you guys will likely be a much shorter show Friday night. Just to say, oh, Sticky Taco! Veronica Tello has summoned the Sticky Taco. Just to say, Merry Christmas to you guys, the night before Christmas, Christmas Eve, so to speak. So until then, until Friday, I will see you guys Friday night, briefly. Same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Cha-Cha! Oh my goodness, Cha-Cha, thank you so kindly for the donation. Thank you. And Philosophy, thank you for thinking of me orally. Boom. Eddie G says thank you and love y'all, and go watch Spider-Man or get a bootleg, as I did. The movie shot and hit the mark. Yes, agreed with that. Hey! Michelle, my friend, with the ginormous, tremendous donation. It is massive. Again, not to put you on the spot, but thank you for that. That is a humongous donation. Thank you so kindly for that. And Pikachu agrees with my sentiment there. Thank you. Thank you. Hey! You guys are awesome. I'm looking at these pictures on this screen. Those are like, I took a lot of those a year ago. In the low-tech version of this show that was infected. That was clearly the infected picture there. Shannon Fat Tony with a special request for me to read my book. And you know what? Wifey told me a few of you guys had been asking for that. I think that is, in fact, what I will do this Friday. Yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you once again for a fun show. I hope you were infotained, and I love you. So, until Friday, you know what time it is. You need to leave.